In this video, we're going to learn how to detect collisions, and we're going to do that by getting our player to pick up some of these coins. So I've added some coins to my scene, and I just found them on the asset store, but you can just Google them and you'll find heaps of coins or something that you'd like your player to collect. Could be gemstones, could be anything you want. And these coins have a simple animation. Watch the previous video on animations if you want to know how to do that, so that it just rotates. So it's just a simple rotating coin, and we're going to learn how to collect them. So to begin collecting them, there's a few things we have to do to start off. I have to click on the coin and add a 2D collider of some sort. So there are multiple types of 2D colliders, and they're pretty much the same. The only difference is their shape. So previously we've been using the box colliders because all our shapes have been looking like a box, whereas our coins are more circular, so we'll use a circle collider. And make sure you apply the 2D one. Then we just want to be sure, if I zoom in, that this collider, which is that green area, fits around our coin as best that it can. And it's pretty close, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll zoom out. Now the next thing you want to do is, if you click on the player, up here in the inspector, you have an option for a tag, and we want to click that and click on the player tag. And the reason for that is tags just allow us to group our objects and then access them in scripts. So it'll be easy for me to see if this is my player object in the script by checking its tag. And if you had like a whole bunch of enemies, right, you could give them all the enemy tag, and then you can script something to do with enemies in just one hit instead of having to access each of those objects separately. So we have our player tag available. We want to go to scripts and create a new C# script. And we're going to call this collect coin. And we're going to open that in Visual Studio. And we don't need our update and start functions. So inside the Unity engine namespace, they've created a function called onCollisionEnter. Now notice here that you have a onCollisionEnter and an onCollisionEnter2D. OnCollisionEnter is for your normal box colliders, so not your box collider 2Ds. And when I say box collider, sorry, I meant all colliders. Your collider 2Ds should use onCollisionEnter2D. You also have a onCollisionExit2D, which is for when you move past the item. So when my player comes into contact with the coin, I'm going to be looking for it inside a onCollisionEnter2D. When I'm walking past the coin and then as I'm exiting the coin, I'd use the onCollisionExit2D. So for our coin, we want as soon as our player to touch it to collect the coin, so I'll use enter. And this function takes in a parameter, so it takes in one form of input. Right? But in the background, Unity will set this for us. So this collision is just all information to do with what's colliding with it. And that's stored inside a collision2D object. So I can actually change this collision to whatever I want, anything I want, right? I'll just leave it as collision, and we can use that collision to check what we collided with and when we collided with it. Now the thing is, this collision is going to work for anything that the coin comes into contact with a box collider, with a 2D collider. So if an enemy has a box collider and it runs into the coin, this function will still be run, right? So we want to only collect the coin if it's our player that's colliding with the coin. And we can do that by using an if statement. And in the condition, I can type in the collision, and then the collision saves the game object that it collided with. That collided with whatever this script is going to be attached to. And all game objects have a method. If you don't know what a method is, watch one of the previous videos on functions and methods. That's called compare tag, like so. And the compare tag method takes in one piece of information called, well, not called, which is the tag that you're looking for. So whatever collides with my current player, all that information gets stored into this collision object. That collision object also stores the game object that collided with it, and that game object, we're just testing to see if it's a player that collided with it before we run some code. And the code we just want to run is we just want to destroy the game object. And this game object without the collision before it is just referring to whatever game object we attach the script to. So we're going to attach this script to the coin. So if I click on the coin, I'll attach the collect coin on. And then on my coin, I want to make sure I apply it to my prefab so that all these other coins also get the script and the Circle Collider 2D. And any other coins you create after this will also as well. And now if I press play, I'm able to come here and I can collect all the coins. And that's it for this video.